Welcome back for some more reviewing Cookie Run Academy AU Comic Studio, but since that I just reviewed for 3 comics for a little bit for one time as well, I eventually talk a little bit too much for Round itself in the previous video, for 10 minutes for Round here for this time as well, and some sort of a previous videos around for the text post as well, like anyways as well. I have talking for too long, one of those accidentally taking for some sort of review long comics, whatever. Let's go try to get for a little bit short content like those things. Short comics, pretty like that for very sure. Am I going to be for probably for some sort of like those things? 10 chapters even for some sort of like this, whenever it's going to be not going to be costing around for over 10 minutes as well. So let's continue to review for round of these in one page only. So let's go to be out for review for these things as well instead of a chapter 10 as well. So probably we might going to be for around here for some sort of like this. So this is actually for the page 1. We're not going to be going for the page 2 for this time as well. It won't be necessary as well for some sort of new comic post whenever it goes to do this all around as well. Starting with That's Cringe as well, and probably share it on February 7th this year as well. And that features matcha candy apple, black sapphire cookie, or black sapphire cookie, star coral, pastry, and golden osmanthus. And the description says, before we're gonna be speaking around here, that says, what is that? Is that your creepypasta OC? That's cringe, said Matcha Cookie. She she raged her as well, probably for itself, that's completely wrong thing as well. She rages her to say you're cringe, and if it's not gonna be possible as well, but unfortunately Matcha Cookie was completely shocked and scared. But I'm pretty sure she ran away into the girls' bathroom. Unless that we're not gonna be probably saying for like this as well. Candy apple or matcha cookie was crossed for their own stupid way for around here for some kind of like these things as well. That saying this could be even possible. Nothing how imagine that the sapphire or the black sapphire cookie has going to be breaking into the class. The chapter 11 isn't going to be probably exist until something is going to be announced in the future. And a few moments later at the girls' restroom, they realize they have saw Matcha Cookie was eventually scared. She was eventually scared. When the girls gather them up, as probably that they're not very sure about for this thing as well, the description says, I was conflicted on added black sapphire to this AU. Perhaps I couldn't added him in a future update as a student. He was a hostile, by the way, or not. But then I thought the funniest way on how to include him in this AU. And that wasn't going to be for round of this story. No comments whatsoever. Let's move on to the next one. The 3.0 sneak peek was Latte Cookie was transformed into some kind of... It's not a male. She's a female, of course, for a round of those things as well. But look at all of her clothing. But here's how she's turning out for some sort of the academy teacher, of course, around here. The comments does not probably for literally for this thing as well. Let's go, we're getting a staff. That the description says. Also, I saw the new cookies coming to the Cookie Run Kingdom. If they're interested about when they got formally revealed in a trailer and or released, then I'll add them, by the way, immediately. Even this is actually for the 3.0 sneak peek, was absolutely that I just already seen this, because for this video that I just scheduled, that perhaps that she was already came out after the sneak peek as well. So that was a little bit quite fully interesting as well. Some sort of like this. And finally, 1 week since chapter 10. It's probably for 1 week ago for some sort of like this. Peppernut was introduced to the fan thing, and the Unexpected Four was formally formed. And it's absolutely having one comment and shared on February 22nd this year. Perhaps that concludes for around Cannoli Cookie, Stalin Cookie, Peppernut Cookie, and Akon Cookie on the right side of the tall girl for around itself. And that means for it was less impressive. And that must be for some sort of audio, oh no, that must be 5 seconds. If she probably says for around here that we're just not going to be to do so as well. And turns out the kitchen was on fire, and it wasn't going to be for such as like thing as only for one reason. So they tried to call the firefighters for this time immediately. So that is it for Cookie Run Academy AU comics for round for some sort of usernames. They might be gonna be coming out for a little bit sooner for one thing, by the way, for literally for these things as well. I'm sorry that I just completely swear talking for a little bit too much for around here for very long time. Whenever it's not gonna be trying to do this. There's no use for my life, but I'm probably sure. Let's get into the Cookie Run High School to review for some comics, and probably the reviewing for some sort of the AU Academy was probably done here, so let's get for a run for like those things, and we won't able to be taking for a long time, and that doesn't going to be for some sort of like these things as well. We're going to be taking for around for these things as well before it's absolutely going to be owner as well, or some kind of literally for to do this as well. And the video ends going to be here onto the banner as well. So let's start with the fun facts, as could be for around here. The fun facts could be for around here for starting around here for these things as well. There's no description in comments yet. And it was absolutely shared with for like these things as well. It was since before Valentine's Day this year. It was by literally Ema. So starting with Shining Glitter Cookie, and she had met a famous artist and wanted to be famous like him. Another one is Sour Belt Cookie, the first and only student to be owned a clothing brand. Strawberry Stick's favorite quote is, "Particle makes perfect." Latte Cookie is one of the excellent teacher. She got an A+ in every class. Her staff is secretly an ancient wand, uses to direct stars. Probably it's not going to be the teacher anyways. This is a staff member of the school. Mr. Cappuccino, or Mr. Cappuccine, work here at the school was founded by some sort of from a Black Mesa administrator or not. At her house, she owns a pair of shields and a special suit for her combat. And the extras could be for round for one thing insane, and probably it's less good for round itself for some sort of like the total amount of rates as this wing as well. So some sort of the total amount of some sort of ratings could be for round 7 out of 10, 7 out of 10, 7 out of 10. Another one is 4 out of 10, 8 out of 10, including 5 out of 10, and 4 out of 10 for this thing as well, because of Chinese cookies around as well. So thankfully, it's absolutely pretty done, and I'm probably recommended it's going to be 7 out of 10. But most likely for multiple of those tests isn't going to be for around for multiple exams as well. She's still even progressing for the exams like this thing as well, that she tried to do so as well. She perfectly pronouncing like this. She perfectly did a correct answerings from her mind, except Sour Belt Cookie. She fails because of due to their own brand, but I'm not pretty sure. She might gonna be fired a little bit soon. And especially they're still doing their homework, but I'm now announcing to give you for absolutely for around 6 out of 10. And there's the student dance over here. Could be literally is between for them as well. Before exams, I'm not pretty sure this isn't going to be for such as having fun for this time as well. To start even play hard for some sort of weekends. And the description says, no teachers allowed. Like, maybe you could add a sign that says that. And there's still no comics, or still no comments as well. Probably there isn't for some sort of for unknown reasons as well. But there aren't descriptions about for those things whenever it goes. And there must be for another one is Friday night. And there's no description about for those things as well. For some sort of just absolutely for some sort of story. But I'm not pretty sure this is actually for an anime reference. Before dance could be for around here to do this whatsoever as well. They're in a limousine for some sort of Mercedes S-Class or unknown class for some sort of this. And the first thing that she said for around here for this thing as well before, this is not going to be to do what I just tried to say for around here first. On Sunday evening or the Sunday afternoon, Shining Glitter says, "Shall we do tonight?" And she asked. "Let's go to the cinema," she said. You said Strawberry Stick Cookie. And the automobile that she was stuck in traffic or this, that's still keeping on moving around here as well. "What movie shall we watch?" Shining Glitters said that. "Let's see," she asked. "I enjoy my time in a cab. I enjoy my time in the cab." Or the yellow cab as well. She says, "I enjoy my time in the yellow cab." And the cab driver says, "We're here." But nothing's supposed to be on the left. The right side of the driving for some sort of the right hand drive could be for around that there are in Japan whatsoever. As soon as they arrive here, may we have a large popcorn and a large soda just from the Big Smoke order from the Cluck and Bell that she asked. Of course. And probably so that the ratings could be for around 7 out of 10, of course. But that leads to the end of some sort of story before dance. And of course, this is actually for some sort of these things as well. And probably for some sort of unknown things as well. January 1st or some sort of these things as well. January 14 update. And she says, "Hello, the cafeteria is coming, including more props. The creator of this comic studio, literally Yima, will add them after school time." And that must be for some sort of 6 out of 10, of course. And probably the banner was not a little bit pretty perfect as well for some sort of this. Since I have seen this in Cookie Run High School Comic Studio, that I probably should mention this. And that marks the end of this video. Thanks for watching, for all your support, and we'll see you in another video, as I'll talk to you mini lads and Comic Studio users all later, as I'm gonna be signing off.